Hello, Commanders, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous Journey Across the Galaxy. Today's topic will be doing what you love, but before we get into that, we need to do all of our standard spiel stuff for the new viewers who are just joining us for this journey. We are continuing on our way to Beagle Point at the furthest reaches of the galaxy. We've already gone through the center, having visited the black hole at Sagittarius A star, starting out from the bubble, and this is the path that we've been taking on our way out to Beagle Point out in this direction. Let's go ahead, get off the ground, start moving off towards our next destination, and then we'll talk about what we typically do on these runs. So I just need to get out of mass lock state, and there. Destination obscured. Oh. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna have to climb up just a little bit before we're able to get out of here. But anyways, if you're just joining the series, we are working on raising our exobiology skill up to the elite rank. Just trying to find as many of those things as we can to raise that skill up. And then our secondary objective is working on trying to get to where we have enough money to buy a fleet carrier and then take that out into the black and continue just exploring and seeing what kinds of different cool stuff we can find, but this time with all of our ships and everything available to us. So that'll allow us to have a little bit of variety and take different ships and go find cool stuff. Now, that being said, there is a repetitious pattern of things that we do while we're here in the game. We're hopping into the system here. We will pop the Discovery scanner. Then we will look at the full spectrum system scanner to see if there are any high-value planets that show up on the frequency spectrum there. And then if there are 15-ish bodies, you can see there's 24 in this one. If there are 15-ish bodies or less, we'll go ahead and spend the time to actually do a full-on scan to see if we can find any biology. But because of the number of bodies in this system, it would take longer than I really want to try to scan all of this. So we're just going to go ahead and move on. As you can see, there are no Earth-like worlds, ammonia worlds, or water worlds, and so that is all criteria that cause us to go ahead and bypass this system and move on to the next one. So that's the game aspect of what we're doing, but I do try to have a topic of discussion to have going on in the background while we're doing all of this, or I guess this ends up being the background and my topic of conversation is hopefully the foreground. However you want to look at it, I like having something to do or something to talk about as we're doing this because it gets kind of boring watching jump and scan and jump and scan and jump and scan. So as I said, today's topic is loving what you do. There is a well-known saying that if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life, and you know, that's a nice sentiment to think. You know, you would imagine that if you could get up and do something that you love doing every day, that you know, it's not work anymore because you're doing what you want to be doing. And while there's well, hold on. Okay, just making sure that there was. I don't see a third star on the radar there, and I'm not sure what the other body was, so that's fine. While in theory that makes a lot of sense, the reality of the situation is that regardless of whatever it is that you're doing, there's always going to be some kind of a work associated with it. There's always going to be some kind of unpleasantness associated with doing whatever it is that you like to do, especially if you're going to try to take this thing that you love doing and turn it into something that makes you money. Because the reality of the situation is that there is no situation in the world, there is no set of circumstances in the world where you only have to do the things that you want to do and you can get paid for it. That's just not the way the world works. I can't think of anything at all where people get to do what they want to do and they don't have to put up with something that, you know, they don't particularly care for. So as you're looking through these in the top right corner there in the features, we're looking for biological features. We want to find a body with at least 2, at least in the early parts of these episodes, so that we have a good chance of finding something that is other than just, okay, so there's 1. Let's see if we can find one that has 2 in it. Oh, come on. Geological 3, that's not what we're looking for. So yeah, we're really trying to find one that has at least 2, because if it's just 1, it's almost certainly going to be just bacteria, and that's just not worth the time it takes for us to go down there and find this stuff. So, you know, regardless of whether the main thing that you're doing is something that you want to be doing, whether you love whatever it is that it is that you're going to be doing, the idea that, you know, you're never going to feel like you're working when you're doing something that you love is a little bit disingenuous. Now, that said, obviously, if you can be doing something that you love to be doing as your primary job, all right, so there were a bunch of single biology planets, which we're too early in the episode to spend a bunch of time doing that. Single biology planets are going to be the, oh man, we didn't find anything, but we want to get something out of some kind of monetary advancement out of this episode, so moving on. So the point I'm trying to get to is like, I don't want to be super negative about it. Obviously, if you can turn what you enjoy doing into a job, and you can make it so that you're spending a good portion of your day doing something you enjoy doing, that's vastly, vastly better than working some random 9-to-5 job that you had to take because you couldn't do any, there's nothing else for you to do. And you go in, and every day that you go into work, you're miserable because you're doing something that you know, you're not interested in. It's just, this is something I have to do because I have to make an income. Being able to turn your passions into money is vastly, vastly better than being forced to work some menial, grindy job that you hate. So don't get me wrong. The message for today is not a negative one. I bring it up because I watched a video where a podcaster was talking so apparently there was a skateboarder that posted an article that was talking about the saying that if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life is a bunch of crap, because, you know, when you take what you love and you turn it into a job, it becomes work. It becomes a grind. It becomes, you know, it becomes less fun because you've turned it into a job. And that's absolutely true. I used to love being a musician, but then I joined the Marine Corps and, you know, was doing it professionally. And I kind of got over it, you know. I haven't really touched my instrument very much since I got out of the Marine Corps. I've been out for more than 10 years, and I can probably count on probably less than 10 times I've actually pulled out my clarinet and actually played it. And I spent 11 years of my life playing it professionally, and, you know, obviously high school and a year at college. But, you know, turning that into a job really did dampen my enjoyment of playing music. So it is a real thing. Some experiences will completely remove your desire to do something, or not completely remove. Obviously, I have a latent desire for, you know, music-related things. But as far as, you know, being a performer, like, I wouldn't mind being a band director or something like that if I could, you know, figure out how to make that work and not have to spend years and years making that getting into that position. But, you know, as far as being an instrumental performer, I have no more interest in doing that. I did that for 11 years, and at some point, you know, I didn't love it enough that I wanted to do it my whole life. I guess that's kind of the reality of that situation. I know I've strayed off topic. I'm trying to get to a main point here, and I will get there. Don't worry. We have plenty of time in the episode. I'm not in a rush. He was commenting on a skateboarder who had published an article that was talking about how, you know, that saying is a bunch of crap because when you turn it into a job, it becomes a job, and you don't really like it as much anymore. And the podcaster was trying to make the point that, well, the reality of the situation is that he might love skateboarding. He doesn't love running a YouTube channel, because the guy was talking about how YouTube channels are the new 9-to-5, where you get on and you're just you're trying to grind out a living every day. And you know, to some extent that absolutely makes sense, because especially if you're trying to create a very high production, you know, show for your YouTube channel, it's going to take full-time hours to get something like that done. And a lot of people just aren't interested in that. And I totally understand. I'm certainly not interested in trying to run a channel. There's 15 bodies in this system, so we're definitely going to be checking out and see if we can find some biology here. I'm certainly not interested in running a YouTube channel in that manner. I put maybe 3+ 3 to 4 hours a day into this channel. And the only reason I used to put full 8+ hour days in, you know, trying to record 4 or 5 videos a day, and then editing and rendering and doing all of that stuff. Ooh, there we go. We're gonna go to that one. You know, because I was my philosophy so far is just volume. I'm trying to do a lot of volume for videos to just get so many videos out there that even if they don't perform, even if none of them perform particularly well, I have enough videos out there and enough people are randomly stumbling across them that I... How is the system scan complete? Oh, okay, the asteroids don't count. I'm kind of hoping to get to the point where I have enough videos out there. Ooh, we're gonna definitely need to put a pause in the video here. Let me finish my sentence here. I'll put a pause and then we'll continue it when we get there. I'm hoping to get to the point where I have enough videos out there that just the sheer volume of random clicks on my videos and the random ads being played, and you know, provides a significant portion of my income, in addition to people who choose to join the channel as members and people who choose to you know, do super chats and things like that. You know, just the random things that you can get for your channel. I'm hoping that if I have enough videos out there, I can get enough of that, and it'll build a sustaining kind of thing. Because it's like when you're it's like when you're an author, right? What you're trying to do as an author, outside of just telling the story, you're trying to write a book that's going to continue to provide you with income over the long haul. And that's one of the cool things about YouTube versus streaming, is that you're posting these videos that are going to stay there for a long time. You know, as long as YouTube ends up being around, those videos should be there. And as long as you have a channel that's monetized, you should continue to get money when people watch those videos. So one of the great things about doing YouTube is that you're building a portfolio, you're building a library of videos that potentially could help you continue to make money as you grow. And the more videos you have, the more chances you have to make money. I mean, even older videos, you know, I see videos pop up from some channels that are, you know, 5, 6, 7 years old sometimes. So, yeah, you're not going to be able to get, you know, like, obviously every video you make isn't going to be something that's going to turn into, you know, a continual money maker for you for the rest of your life. You know, sometimes a lot of the videos are going to fall off. That's why you have to keep making new content. But at the same time, all of that work doesn't go to waste, because that library is still there, and you know, every once in a while somebody's going to stumble across some of your content, be interested in it, and they'll binge through a playlist or something, and you get some money out of that. And that's, you know, it's a cool way to go, I think. So anyways, I know I said I was going to put a cut in here, but we're already halfway towards our destination. I do set a 10,000 light second limit on traveling inside of a system, because you start getting much more than that and it starts really taking an exorbitant amount of time. So anyways, the point I'm laboring towards in this episode is just that, for me personally, I love playing video games. I've been playing video games since I was a kid. I'm in my 40s now. I still love playing video games for the most part. I've gotten to the point now where by the time I finish recording for the day, I'm all video gamed out and I don't really have any desire to play anything. But, you know, I'm still motivated to get up and record, and I enjoy what I'm doing right now. And, you know, now that I'm monetized and I'm starting to make a little bit of cash, obviously not very much, but a little bit of cash, I can see how, if I can turn this into a full-time thing and this is all I have to do to make the money that I need to live, I can find a way to make that something that makes me content and happy, because it's better than any of the other jobs I've ever had in my life. When I look back on all the various things that I've done to try to make a living, and the one thing in common that I know that I hated about all of it is that I had to work for somebody else. When I was in the Marine Corps, I was proud to serve, but I had bosses that I was responsible to. I had people that were telling me, you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do that, and here's your schedule. This is what your day is gonna look like, and we're telling you what it is. And that's the common thread for work in general that has always bothered me. I have no problem with putting in hard work. what I have a problem with is not having control over my day. Oops, wrong one. We're trying to do a planetary scan here. I really hate having someone else telling me what I'm going to be doing with my day. And I'm trying really hard with this channel to get to the point where it provides me with enough of an income that now my time is my time and no one can come in and tell me what I'm doing with my day. So I know that sounds like it's kind of a random tangent. Like, what are you talking about? I thought we were talking about doing what you love. I will never love the work aspect of a YouTube channel. I'm never... So hold on a second. I need to figure out which part of this is the light part. Is there a light? There's got to be light. Are we just completely on the dark side, or is this just a really dark planet, or what's going on here? Wow, this is super weird. Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna have to do this in the dark. Super weird. We'll go down into this crater here, hopefully. Get out of the... It always wants to put me in that stupid glide area there. Okay, well, down we go. So anyways, the point I've been trying to labor towards in this entire episode is that I like playing video games, and it would definitely be one of those things where if the work aspect of running the YouTube channel becomes very laborious and something I hate, then it will have an effect on my ability to enjoy what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, I think we all are going to struggle with that. And the challenge for me is going to be remembering how much I hated everything else more. And, you know, keeping that gratitude for, you know, hey, this is actually, you know, this is all assuming that I grow to the point where I can do this full time. But if I get to that point, the struggle is going to be keeping it in my head that, you know, this is way better than any of the other jobs that you're doing. You're able to spend your time doing something that you enjoy, and the price that you're paying to be able to do this is you have to run a YouTube channel. Now, you know, the podcaster that I was watching was making a point that you know, they love the business aspect of it. That's why they don't work a day in their life, because they actually love running a YouTube channel. And it's like, I don't know how many people actually would love running a YouTube channel. Like, I have very little interest in running a YouTube channel. If I had a way of being able to just play video games when I want to and make money off of that, I would love to do that. That would be super awesome and amazing, and you know, I would love to be able to do that. But as with everything in life, you're almost never going to be in a situation where you can do what you want to do without there being some kind of a cost associated with it. Oh, this is gonna suck. Can I get over here? I saw it turn blue for like a second. For like a millisecond. Oh, nope. Get on the blue there, or where's the blue? Oh, come on. I hate it when it does that. It tells me that it's a landable spot, but then when I try to land, it's not. Come on. I know we're on a hill, but you can land on hills. Come on. There we go. I know I keep getting interrupted because things are happening. I think you guys are understanding the point that I'm trying to get to. It's that, you know, it's the keep it. A lot of our attitude is dangerously low temperature detected. A lot of our attitude is self-inflicted. You know, we change the circumstances in our mind based off of what we think is going on, and then it becomes very easy to forget, you know, just a couple of years ago, you had it way worse. and you're in a much better situation. And you know, I'm gonna try very hard to get to the part where, you know, even though the YouTube part of it's gonna suck. Oh, and just, you know, just the daily grind of making videos. You know, burnout is a real thing, and I think a big portion of burnout is just people not remembering that, you know, hey man, you have your own thing that you're doing here, and yeah, you're doing the same thing every day, but at the same time, you know, what is your alternative? What would you be doing if you weren't doing this? You know? I know that after years of doing the same thing over and over again, there's going to be a natural kind of, I don't really want to be doing this anymore. And if you're lucky enough to find an opportunity to do something else, well, okay, that's fine. You know, make sure you have something to do. But, you know, make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, all right, come on. Make sure that whatever you're moving to is going to be a good replacement for what you're doing now, because, you know, if you spend a bunch of time building something up, I thought there was something close to us. If you spend a bunch of time building something up that, you know, is sustaining you, and then you move on to something else and it doesn't work out, well, you threw away a good thing for a bad thing, and now you're in a worse situation. So, I don't know. Like, I'm not here to try to give people advice. The point I'm trying to make here is that I'm hoping that, A, this channel is going to grow to the point where I'm able to do it as a job, and B, that I'm able to maintain the kind of perspective that allows me to say, hey, you know, even though this is still a grind like everything else I've done in my life, this is my grind. It's the grind that I'm doing for me, and no one else has any control over it but me. And this is something that I'm building that I have control over, and it's something that I'm doing. You know, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. So realistically, you know, I was going to go look for some bacteria, but I don't think we're going to bother, because on a dark planet like this, I'm not going to be able to see it, and the fact that night vision doesn't pick up bacteria means that I'm also not going to be able to see it with the night vision. So the odds of us actually finding the bacteria, whatever bacteria is here, is very small. We're going to go ahead and end the episode. So all of that said, you know, I'm gonna try to make that my attitude going forward. I mean, I already experienced a little bit of burnout just from the fact that I'm doing 4, 5, some odd videos a day, depending on what I decide to do for my schedule. And you know, it gets repetitious and boring, and especially for like this series of videos, coming up with topics of conversation that I can talk about for 20 plus minutes is sometimes difficult to do, and I'm not motivated, and I have to force myself to sit down and do it. But at the same time, I've been fortunate enough to be able to spend the last year sitting down and only having to do that because of the situation that I've been in. Obviously, my situation is about to change, and I have to adapt to a new configuration, but I'm hoping that that will be something that's limited, and that this channel will grow to the point where I only have to do that for a while, and then maybe I can get back to doing this full time. Only time will tell. But if I can get to that point, I'm going to try really hard to hold on to the idea that, you know, everything in life is going to be a grind to some degree. And if the best thing that you can hope for is that you find a grind that you're happy with. And that's just a mental state. So anyways, hopefully all of that made sense. Hopefully for some of you who have been, you know, trying to pursue something that you want, maybe that can help you shift your perspective a little bit to make the grind that you're doing more bearable. Be sure to click the like button if you got something out of the video, or if you just enjoyed watching the exploration part, so that the YouTube algorithm knows and sends the video out to as many people as possible. If you're not subscribed, consider doing so now, so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your feed, and you'll be able to watch it as soon as it becomes available. Channel members do get early access to all of my content, so be sure to click that join button, check out the perks available there, and decide if any of those are right for you. Your support is greatly appreciated, and a critical component to the aforementioned trying to turn this into a full-time gig. Again, thank you very much for your time. Hope you guys are enjoying the journey, and I'll see you for the next one.